Oh yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the camera, Daniel, Mark,
Time to put my face where this is.
Hey, how you doing? It's a different day, different dialogue. You guys want to see me sneeze? Okay, cool. I'm Daniel Blair, violinist, and this is the first memory I have of playing the violin. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. You like my new shirt? Oh, you know what? I've worn this watch already a lot. I'm gonna forget that there. So I come from a big family. Traveling is not just traveling. You don't travel on a whim, and go somewhere and take 6 kids with you. No, it must take careful planning for supplies, food, diapers. I went through a lot of diapers. I still go through a lot of diapers. That is not true. Put that there. Oh yeah. Anyway. So my parents would take 1 to 2 trips a year to the great state of Ohio. Now the people we stayed with had 2 very tall sons who played in their school orchestras. Their mom was a very strict scheduler. They would practice their instruments every morning before they went to school. My earliest influence in music was this example of practice comes first. And my very earliest memory of violin is waking up in their guest room as probably a 4 or 5-year-old kid and hearing this music. Here's the church, here's the steeple, open the doors, ah, crap! And I would get out of bed and go down the hallway and just sit there, super sleepy, hearing violin being practiced slowly, deliberately. And my older sister, Abigail, wanted to play violin far more than I did. I thought it was like fascinating to watch, and because I had to do everything she did, because it was my job to be the annoying little brother, if she would pick up a book and a pencil and start sawing back and forth, I would pick up a book and a pencil and I'd saw back and forth. Cuter was my goal. And anywhere we heard music, at church or with family or singing happy birthday in a restaurant, I am like, wee, 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 wee. Yeah. So, when I was about 7, my parents asked if I would be interested in playing violin. Is Abby doing it? It was hard. That whole glamorous practicing every morning, let me tell you, it is much more comfortable to be a little kid wrapped in a blanket sitting on the floor, half asleep listening to someone practice than it is to dedicate like hours of your time into being focused and learning this crap that is in front of you. My mom was a piano teacher, and she knew that she had to be the one to be persistent if I really wanted to develop that skill beyond just a hobby. So while I really only got started because of my older sister, I fell in love with it. Not the practicing part. The practicing part was terrible. I hated it, but I loved performing. And in my teenage years, I began to realize that violin wasn't as cool as I once had thought. A lot of my friends were playing like drums and guitar. I begged mom and dad to let me quit, but they had the good sense to see that all the hours I'd already laid down was a foundation. So they forced me to continue, and I would fight them going to lessons, to practice. If they could get me started, it would just like get those creative juices going again, and I would just play and play. I started getting some recognition. We got to play some competitions, I got to win some money, and it would just come in big spurts where you'd work. Nothing was happening, then you get all this recognition. You'd be like, yes, I've worked very hard, thank you very much. Mom, I don't want to, please don't make me, I don't want to practice. You guys just want me to do it so you can show your friends. I hate violin. And now it's my career, so I am very grateful that I was an annoying little brother and did exactly what my sister did. I'm very grateful that my parents forced me against my will to practice, because if we were going to do it, we were going to do a good job at it. So I see this happen with other kids. Their parents want to expose them to different disciplines in arts and language, and the kids lose interest and they want to change. That's a tricky subject. Do you want them to practice giving up on stuff? No. Oh, somebody's here. But man, do you really want to force them to do something if that's just not clicking that little spark inside? So I guess if you're 4 years old and you like something enough, maybe I was 6, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with that. Whatever. Deep questions. There's just something about it, just the freedom of moving around the neck and just being able to throw the notes out there. It's like you're singing and then take that and integrate it with other musicians. So it's just a blast.